Hello. Today we are going to make ear warmer headband, and I think that you could make quite a few of these if you wanted to sell them at a craft fair. Plus they also make very nice gifts. We are going to need some worsted weight yarn. Now I got this at a thrift store for 50 cents. And Windtuck is the original yarn that I used to learn how to crochet 233 years ago. I didn't know they still had it. And maybe they don't. Maybe this is just old yarn. Okay, this one is called Spring Meadow. I have a button, and it can be any button. This one happens to have a shank. Purchased these on eBay. I have an eye crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and I think that's it. Okay, so to get started, we are going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now let's double crochet in the third chain from hook, and then double crochet in each chain across. So I'll get that done and come back. Okay, I have double crocheted across, and the chain 3 now and throughout, we're going to consider it as a double crochet. So in that case, we have 11, and this is the wrong side of your work. Okay, so chain 3. Now this first double crochet goes with this chain 3, so we're not going to work in that one. In the next double crochet, we are going to make 4 double crochet. And we're going to work this like a popcorn stitch, but I think traditionally a popcorn stitch is made with 5 double crochet and maybe a chain at the end. I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've made one, but we're going to call this a 4 double crochet popcorn stitch, just for the sake of this video. So we're going to remove our hook, and we're going to go to the very first double crochet of this 4 double crochet group and insert our hook. Then grab that loop and pull it through. Okay, now in the next double crochet, we are going to double crochet. And then the 4 double crochet popcorn stitch. Remove your hook, go to our first double crochet of those 4, grab a loop, pull it through, and double crochet in the next stitch. So just alternate the popcorn and the double crochet all the way across, and then we'll carry on. Okay, I have this row done. We have 5 popcorn stitches. Now chain 3. And turn, and we're not going to work in this first double crochet because it goes with this chain 3. So now we are just going to double crochet all the way across. And we will have 11 double crochet again. So go ahead and double crochet your way across, and then we'll come back. Alright, I have double crocheted my way across. So now we're going to chain 3 and turn. And we're going to repeat the popcorn row. and then the double crochet row, then the popcorn row, then the double crochet row. So this is your pattern, and you just repeat it over and over until you have 30 rows all together, which will give you 15 rows of popcorn. And we're going to stop on the popcorn row. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll be back. Okay, I have finished all of my rows, and I stopped with the popcorn row. Now I'm just going to leave a bit of a tail so that we can sew this closed. So fasten off. And thread on the tail. Now let's put right sides together. And we are just going to sew this together all the way across. When we get to the end, we will knot it off and then weave in our end, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, I have stitched up my headband and I got rid of my ends. Now we're just going to turn it right side around and just set it aside. Now I'm going to make this flower out of the same color yarn that I made the headband, but of course you could make a different color flower if you like. So we're going to chain 3, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to join because we're going to work in this little ring that we just made. And I'm going to work over this tail. So chain 1, and we're going to work 6 single crochets in this ring. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now slip stitch into that first single crochet to join. Now chain 1 and work 2 single crochets in each single crochet around, which will give us 12 single crochet. This yarn wants to split on me. It's probably me and not the yarn. But go ahead and do 2 single crochets in each single crochet around, and I'll join you back. Now I have 12 single crochet, so I'm just going to slip stitch into this first single crochet to join. Right, now chain 1, single crochet, now we're going to work a treble in our next single crochet. Sorry, I was looking at my notes. So actually, it's going to be 5 treble in this single crochet. My last one. It's a little tight, but it's not too bad. Okay, single crochet in the next single crochet, 5 treble in the next, single in the next, 5 treble in the next. Do that all the way around, and I'll meet you when I get to the end. Okay. It is time to slip stitch in that first single crochet to join, and now our little flower is done. So let's leave ourselves a tail and go ahead and fasten off. Now we worked over this tail, so we can just snip that off. And this tail, I'm going to move it down a little bit, further down on the flower. So that it'll be ready for me to stitch on. Okay. Now I have threaded yarn through my button. And I'm just going to pull that to the back. Now mine does have a shank. You can just stitch it on. If yours doesn't have a shank, it doesn't have to. So I'm just going to feed this tail and pick a spot over here. It really doesn't matter, wherever you can get it to go. You could also use your yarn needle to do this. And what I'm going to do is just knot this. Okay. So, as soon as I figure out what I did with my yarn needle. Alright. Just use your yarn needle to weave these in some. Since you probably don't lose things every 5 seconds like I do. So just go ahead. And you don't have to be too worried about these. They're going to stay under. We're sewing this on anyway, so. Okay. Just get rid of that. And I'll be back with my yarn needle. Okay, here we are. Let's go ahead and thread this tail on. Bring our headband back. And I'm not so sure it really makes a whole lot of difference. Kind of all blends in into one. But if you want to look for where you stitch yours together and make that like the back or bottom or whatever, then you do that. So I am simply going to place my flower onto my headband, and then I'm just going to stitch it on. So just go around, stitch it on the way you want it, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so our headband ear warmer is now complete. Now I designed this piece with this popcorn type stitch. First of all, it gives it texture and interest, but mainly I did it for the warmth. I just feel like it would be a lot warmer. However, if you want to make them quicker and you want to save on yarn, you could just do this, but every row being double crochet and not include this stitch. Now this piece with the eye hook and the number 4 yarn is an extra small. Now I made this one using the exact same pattern, but with a bigger hook. I made this one with a J hook. This is an I and this is a J. So this is like an extra small. This is like small to medium, and if you want to make like a medium to large and a large, just keep bumping up your hook sizes, and then you don't have to change the pattern in any way. Now, if you remember, or if you got to see my boot cuff video, you could make these. You could make these headbands by crocheting the back loop only. You could actually make a set. It'd be really pretty. So if I were to make this into a set, I would make this in back loops only, and then the flower in the same color yarn as the flower on the boot cuffs, and then you would have a set. So there you go. You should be able to make a lot of these up if you want to sell them. Well, I do hope you will make some of these, and thank you so much for watching.